Okay, moving forward, I've just changed the font in Eclipse, so it's a little bit bigger. The way I've done that, just to show you, I've clicked on Windows, Preferences, and then in here General Appearance, and you've got color and fonts. And if you just go to the basic, you can just change text, font, and then I could just say Edit, and then I've selected the size. So I can put it as 18, and then I'm going to just make it regular like that, say OK, and then apply. And as you can see just behind me here, the text appears. I hope that's more readable for those that found the previous videos fonts weren't so clear. Right, so moving forward, what I've decided to do is I've decided to just quickly draw a quick diagram of what Umicom Framework is all about and how it actually differs from other UMVC frameworks. Now, the way I've designed it, and this is just an illustration, and we're going to implement it in Eclipse in a moment. I've showed you the application, which is the main class called application, and that will basically communicate to a master controller. Now, the master controller will then delegate work to slave controllers, and then each individual slave controller will then render the appropriate view or communicate to the model. And the view and the model won't communicate directly. As you can see, there is no communication link between them. So the view will communicate back to the slave controller, and then the slave controller will then decide if it requires the model. Now, when I'm talking about a model, I'm talking about something like a user model, which is a class, an object called user, that contains basically his name, his ID, address, telephone number, and all the other characteristics that's involved with that user. And that user object is then mapped into the database. So we might have a table called user in the database, and then that object will be mapped to that data, to that table in that database. So any changes to the information of the user will then automatically get reflected or persisted inside the database. The view would just basically, very simply, just render a web page on the screen. And we're going to use a number of different third-party technologies. We're going to use Bootstrap, and we're going to use some JavaScript that we're going to write ourselves, and we're also going to use jQuery. So any of those who are familiar with JavaScript or client-side technologies will find this part very easy. The model is just basically plain old Java object, sometimes they call it. And as you can see, so we've got 3 different modules or components. You call it whatever you like. So this could be register, this could be home page, this could be something else like exchange, for example, because we're building a commodity exchange. So this could be the grid of all the commodities being traded. So yeah, so that you've got the idea of that. And now we're going to move into Eclipse again, and we're going to start creating that structure that we just showed you.